Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're doing well. Here's my contact information, and just a reminder that we are here to just enjoy our time and not worry about mistakes. Excuse me. Some of you know that I started chemotherapy again this week, and I'm feeling okay for this first time of this first round. And I did a tile that I had fun with, and so I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to use 3 patterns. Roni by Brenda DeBock, she's a CZT. Mabez, I'm not sure, by Srimathi Prakash, and Trazee by Anya, Lothrop, CZT. So I hope I didn't butcher those names too much. And I think you'll enjoy this. It's just a simple grid, and then I'm going to put a border around it with that. I'm going to be using a Zentangle 3.5 inch tile, Micron 01, a Zentangle pencil, which is just a number 2 pencil, and a blending tool known as a tortillion. And if I kind of get drifty, it's because I am on medication, and sometimes my thoughts just kind of drift. It's okay. We're still going to have fun. Okay, we are going to put the 4 corner dots, and I'm going to come in a little bit. Or you can kind of, I don't know, sometimes I try to measure with my finger to get kind of the same distance in, or just guess. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pencil that in. So we're going to have a square in the center. Not worried about it being perfect. We'll come back over this with our pen. Okay, how about that? So now I'm going to switch to my Micron 01, and I'm going to go ahead and go over that grid, or just the border. We're going to do a grid next. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to divide this into 9 sections. So I always have a struggle getting a square marked into thirds, but like I say, there's no worries. Do it with pencil first, kind of helps. Okay. And I am going to just remove that little bit that I put out there. And then fill in this grid. Okay, remember to breathe. Relax your shoulders. And just enjoy drawing. Okay, so the, excuse me. The first pattern I'm going to use is called Roni or Ronnie, and I got both of these patterns from the book When Life Gives You Lemons. When Life Gives You Lemons, Tangle All Around by Alice Hendon. And I bought it on Amazon and then took it to Staples to have that binder put on. But I just love that book. So many of the books from Alice Hendon. Anyway, this one we're going to do first. And we start with just an orb in the center. And then we're going to put like these little seed petal shapes in each direction towards the corners. Okay, and then I like to put just a little bit of hash marks in thatching, however you want to call it. Maria calls it in thatching. Okay, and then the next thing is we put this aura in here, and then just a little embellishment here. I'm not sure what you want to call that. A little V shape with little petals on top. It's a simple little flower, but so pretty. And of course you could fill this whole thing with that one grid pattern. Okay, I'll put the next one in the center because I'm going to put the other patterns in these other spaces. Okay, so just our little seed shape, rice shape. Goes to each corner. Mine are not perfect. It's okay. Okay, now we're going to put these little V shapes. The nice thing about this is these are simple patterns and they repeat, and to me it's just very relaxing. Okay, one more. If you're new to my channel, I don't speed up my videos. That way you can just draw along with me. If I'm going too fast, you can slow it down. If I am going too slow, you can speed it up. I also don't put music because I know that can be very distracting. Okay, the little thatching on all of our petals. All right, now our little V's. With petals on top. So for my first day of chemo, I did really well. It was a very long day. But the first medication they gave me pretty much made me go to sleep. It was Benadryl. And then I actually tangled a couple of tiles. I gave one to my oncology nurse. And I saved the other one for myself. And I've been doing pretty good. But I also know that when I go back for my next infusions, that will begin to accumulate. But I am trying my best to be positive. I'm exercising, I'm walking, and planning to beat this. And I appreciate so many of the comments and your thoughts and prayers. It's very much appreciated. Okay, so we're just putting these little V shapes again. And we'll do one more this corner. I just love finding these patterns and playing with them. I have so many of these little 2x2s. Okay. All right, we're almost done with our flowers. Okay, the other thing that we can do is put a little bit at the bottom of these. And the other thing I did on my first tile was make those just a little bit darker right at the top. So again, this is your art. You can see what I'm doing and decide if you want to do that too. I just liked the little bit of extra drama it gave it. Okay, and just a little bit more right here at the tops. And if you go look at the step out, she also, on some of hers, put little dots in there. Embellish it however you would like. Okay, again, just a little bit here. This one. Breathe. Relax your shoulders. try to relax your hand. Sometimes I have too much of a grip on my pen. Okay. All right, so there's that. Cool. All right, Mabez. This is a simple pattern. I'll just go ahead and show you in the square. And we're going to divide it into actually little triangles too. But I find the easiest way to do this is to go corner to corner. Okay. And again, corner to corner. And then we're going to divide it down the center. See, that helps us find that center point. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that on all these. Corner to corner. And then down the center of each. Okay. Down the center again, and one more. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is at the bottom of this square, I'm going to put an aura here and then here. Okay, so now go to the other side and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a line here and a line there. Okay, then the next thing we do is we're going to turn that into kind of a seed shape on both sides. Okay, so tip to tip from that point down to that one, and then turn there and there. Okay, and then again down here we're just going from the top of that line to the bottom of the other one, adding just a little C curve. And then the next thing we do is just add a couple of little auras in each of these. So I put 2 on each side. I just thought this was so unusual the way that it started. That's pretty cool. See? All right. So we're going to do that in all of these. So again, at the bottom, we're going to put an aura right across these 2 triangles. And then at the top, and then we're going to put our C shapes on each side. Now turn, do this side. Again, we're just going corner to corner. Now we're going to aura. Just turn your tile to keep your hand comfortable. Isn't that cool? Just a fun little pattern. Okay, down here, put our aura. Then in the top one, and then put your C shapes. And I don't get them all the exact same width, and that's okay. Putting our auras. I have to tell you a funny story. When I was getting ready for this chemotherapy, I had to get a chemo port put in again, and that just means that they put this thing under your skin so that they can thread, I guess, a tube closer to a big vein, because chemo is very harsh on your small veins. Anyway, I just have to say that my surgeon sang during the surgery. I wasn't totally asleep, so they give you just enough to kind of make you sleepy. And they told me ahead of time he likes to sing. And he did. They put music on, and when he had finished, he sang. I can't remember everything. I know at the end, I looked down, he was at the end of my bed singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That was just so cool. And the anesthesiologist said, oh, he likes it when you sing with him. So I did. And it was fun. So his crew gets to listen to him sing all day. Very nice man. If you're interested, he actually sent me a link to his website, and he said it's Doc Brown Sings.com. That's funny. Okay, did I finish these? Yes, I did. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put this border around it. And this border came from Mustard Kill. Okay, and it's just super simple. Just a soft wave coming around. And my waves aren't perfect. Okay. Very simple. Okay. You could do it in pencil first if you wanted to. All right. And then the next thing she does is she puts a little bit of extra at the tops, just at the peaks. So I'm just going to come up a little bit, kind of do an aura, and fill that in. So just keep coming around. If it all ends up bigger, that's okay too. I'm not going to worry about that part. Just adding a little bit at the peaks of each of these. Also gives me a chance to kind of round it maybe a little bit better. Concentrating, so I'm not talking much. Hopefully that's okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just make these little branches that come out with a little leaf at the top and then another one. So we're just going to come off of each of these little areas that we made. This little curve, a stem, and a simple little leaf at the top. The other thing you could do is you could put just a little orb at the top if you prefer. Isn't that cute? Oh, that one didn't look right. That's okay. Just keep coming around. Stem, a leaf, another stem, and another little leaf. It's always a challenge to try to decide how to put things like this together, but I hope you enjoy this one. I just love looking at all the new patterns that come out on Musterkel and Tangle Patterns, and also the ones that I learned from other CZTs. Heather Hardwick Gladden does a video every day with a 2.5-inch tile and a pattern, which amazes me. Of course, she's younger than me. that one's kind of small, so I'm not going to worry about it. Just keep turning your tile to keep your hand comfortable. All right, so now shading. And I'm going to start with these, and I'm going to put graphite down the center, and then I'm also going to add a little up here towards the smaller parts of these auras. And then just bring that in a little bit. Soften those corners. You can bring that in a little bit at the center too. Okay. All right, let's do that on all those. So again, just went down the center. And then a little bit here at the bottom. Okay, now we're going to soften those. Just push it out a little bit. Trying to make this look just a little more rounded in here. I was thinking too, I haven't tried it, but you could, you know, darken these center parts. The first little curves that we did could be interesting. I know there are some of you that will take this to the next level every time, and I love seeing it. But I also like keeping it simple. So you do your art the way that you like it, because this is your art. I'm just giving you an idea. Okay, so now I'm going to add some shading on our little flowers. So just a little in each of these corners. And then I'm just going to pull it in a little bit, but not all the way to the center, so that we keep that little highlight or sparkle open there. I just love doing that with petals. And just push it into the paper and toward the center, but not all the way. If you want to, with what's left on your tortillion, you could put a little bit at the bottom of these. Okay. Soften that. Okay, this one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Okay, then soften it. A little bit here. You may not see it, but it's there. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just go along this edge. Okay, I'm not putting a lot. And then we're going to soften that. And again, any of this extra stuff that I do is an option. You can always watch to the end and then decide how you want to do yours. All right, what do you think? Now on her, for this one of the things that she did was to put like corner dots, and I think that's kind of cool. So just a dot, hopefully big enough to add a little detail on these corners. Okay. Kind of tie it all together, I guess. I guess you could even make those bigger. Whoop. No, not there. Okay. I think that's good. I think I'm going to put my chop here. And I encourage you always to put your information on the back, the day, the date, to sign it, and put the pattern names so that if you want to do these again, you can find the step outs. So today is, I'm pretty sure, the 8th. 25. And then appreciate it again. Okay. Encourage you to draw until you're happy. And this tile made me happy this week. All right. I thank you again for joining me. I appreciate so much all of the thoughts and comments and messages and emails that I have received. I appreciate it very much. And I hope to feel well enough to do this again soon. Thank you so much, my friends. Come back again, please. Bye.